What up, Dokkanners? The April Dokkan Festival celebration is coming very soon. We could be getting word about it tonight or tomorrow as far as the event teaser. So I thought that it would be a good idea to maybe look ahead to see approximately how many stones we can expect from the first part. I'm not going to be covering part 2 because that will be a separate video later on down the road. But just for part 1, how many stones can we expect? If you really want to just generalize how many stones we can earn between now and Golden Week, it would basically be part 1 and part 2. And whatever you get for part 1, you could essentially just double it. I feel like that's a pretty safe way to estimate it. So with the Golden Week celebration, likely the next big celebration that people are going to be caring about happening next month, basically the end of April, this is going to be a good idea. So what I did is I went through and I pulled up the Topo Dokkan Festival details for JP because their celebration started April 29th, 2024. So we're going to be going through that and we're going to do some stone approximations. But before we start, I actually completely forgot about this whole April Fool's gimmick thing. It's not just a mere getting a free unit. It's also they go through the whole spiel as far as trying to fool you. Obviously nobody believes it, but the efforts that they go to do this is actually kind of entertaining. Like last year it was Dokkan City, so it's some brand new event mode. When I saw that, I was thinking ooh, Simpsons Tapped Out remake. That'd actually be kind of cool, low-key. Yeah, this is exactly, I was thinking Simpsons Tapped Out. You create and oversee the city construction. Announcement of new features. What else do they say? Just more random stuff. And then after all of that, on April 1st, hey, I want to apologize for lying to you. That's what happens. It's like your mom or dad, right? They're trying to do something to trick you, and you very obviously can see through it, and they're just like, surprise, and you're just like, yeah, something like that, whatever. But we will be getting some stones. Oh, 20 dragon stones. So I didn't actually include that in my stone predictions. I suppose we could include that. So I will have to throw that in at the end of the video. Actually, I better do it now. All right, so we're kind of spoiling the video already. So let me just go ahead and throw that in. April Fool's bonus. And we'll just call that 15. Whenever it comes to these Dragonstone approximation videos, I always like to underestimate, because that way, best case scenario, you get the same amount of stones, but even better, actually worst case scenario, you get the same amount of stones, best case scenario, you get way more, right? So that's how I like to normally do things. So with these extra stones here from the April Fool's Fool thing, let's go through and take a look at the campaign details. So starting all the way at the top, this one was a little weird, it's not placed properly on Dokkan Info, but I eventually found it. So we've got the login bonus. So for the login bonus, instead of counting the entire login window, I'm just counting the first half. So this is essentially 28 days that this whole celebration is active, because it's part 1 and part 2, but I am only looking at part 1. So I cut that 28 in half and I just call it 14. So 14 dragon stones. And then I double it because you get another dragon stone just from the daily missions, which I kind of consider as login. So that's why it's 14 times 2, 28. On the weekends, you get 1 extra stone. I never count that. That's part of the whole underestimation thing. The reason why I do that is because, again, I like to undersell. That way people get more stones. Also, there could be some calculation errors, some rounding errors. So it's always better to just lower the amount just to avoid any possible, misconceptions or misleading or anything like that. And of course, if you're a new player and you've never played the events that I don't talk about, that would also give you a ton of stones. There's a bunch of free-to-play stuff that's going to be coming back. New players would be getting a ton of stones from those things. Veteran Dokkanners would not. So for the missions, I went ahead and I counted all the dragon stones that we earned from the missions, labeled first half. So starting April or March 31st, basically April, we got, well, I don't have to count it again. I'll just have it right here. Missions, 8 dragon stones for part 1. Then we have the extreme difficulty red zone missions. Now, I don't know if we're going to get exactly the same stuff. They could change some things around. Peton battle was in the campaign details for the Topo celebration, but we're currently in the middle of a Peton battle as of me recording this video. So maybe we don't get Peton, maybe something else will be happening instead, but we're just going to count all this. So this was EX missions for what, special pose and stuff? Movie hero, Super Saiyan. Oh, not even close. Okay. So yeah, these two constitute 3 dragon stones. Not a whole lot, but hey, every little bit counts. Then of course the new Dokkan event for the new characters. So last year it was Topo, this year it's going to be Cell. So they'll probably just add a new stage to the Cell Dokkan event that already exists, but still 2 new difficulties, right? A brand new stage. That's going to be 2 Dragon Stones. We always like to count that. Then we've got a Gotenks EZA. So a Dokkan Festival EZA is definitely going to be happening. Maybe even 2. Some people are thinking Golden Week, Android Cell Saga, Goku Gohan, and the Transforming Cell could be getting their EZAs. If that's the case, that's double the rewards for us because they're separate events. 34 times 2 would be 68. That would be great. But for now, we're just going to count the 1 Dokkan Festival EZA. So with this Gotenks getting an EZA, that is 34 Dragon Stones, which we've got written down right there. Then we've also got the Extreme Z area. Now this one's a little interesting because the Extreme Z area is for like free characters, special celebration characters. So this is basically just April Fools and Halloween characters. The last unit to receive an EZA in this Extreme Z area was the, oh my god, I was gonna call him Porky Pig. Oh my god, what's his name? I'm so stupid. Oolong. Okay, I called him Porky Pig because apparently like the head of Warner Brothers is trying to kill off like the Looney Tunes or something weird. So anyway, yeah, Porky, Oolong and Lot, they got their EZA from Halloween of last year. So since then, no special character, I think, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, has received an EZA for this group. So I don't know what they're going to do this year because we already got the EZA last year for the like little relaxing jacket Goku. It was 2023 we got the SSR of the guy. 2024 we got the TOR of the guy and the EZA. And now that they've started to do this thing where like free-to-play units are good right as they release, what they might end up doing this year is they simply release the new like April Fool's story event. Where is that? Down here. We get the SSR and TOR, but we don't get an EZA until next year. So maybe this doesn't happen at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and not include this just because I don't know if it's going to happen. Dragon Ball Story event, though, we do get a bunch of stones from Dragon Ball Story type events. Will they do this again? Hopefully they do, because this one gave us what, like 25, 26, 23 Dragon Stones, counting everything. The SQ. Then we got the April Fool's story, so that's going to give us 2 Dragon Stones. No EZA because it happens 1 year after, as I mentioned. Oh, you know what? Maybe Int Kid Icarus from Halloween of 2024 could get an EZA. So for those of you who don't know, this was the unit that dropped for Halloween. Maybe he gets an EZA. That would be kind of cool. But then if that happens, then that means for Halloween, man, this is all kind of screwed up now. At some point, they either just have to skip an EZA altogether, or they continue doing it this way. Maybe like the Halloween free-to-play gets the Awakening or the EZA during the April Fools, and then the April Fools unit gets that update during Halloween. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. So we're just not going to include that. Ultimate Clash is next. So scrolling down here, sub EZAs, they don't do anything for us. Story events returning. Like I said, if you're a brand new player, treasure trove of Dragon Stones. But if you're a veteran Dokkaner, none of these things matter because you've already done them. April Fool's event, like we discussed. Where's the Clash? More sub EZAs, more Extreme Z areas. Clash. So 31 Dragon Stones right there. Okay. Peton Battles. So this one is probably not going to be there because we have already done it. So this will have to be replaced. Maybe they do an SBR ESBR combo. And again, I'm only looking at part 1. So I don't remember if it is in part 2, the ESBR. It probably is. The ESBR along with the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks Super Easy are all part of part 2. So if we want to just remove that outright, we could. But the total is only 148. So that's not looking like a pretty fancy number. But then again, this is kind of one of those like more quiet, toned down celebrations. So over 100 stones, I mean, just double that for the month of April. So that gives you around like between 200 and 250 Dragon Stones, I suppose. So hey, it's not everything, but it's a good amount that you can save for Golden Week, or more importantly, Tanabata or beyond. So yeah, that's where we're gonna leave it. Now, if we want to round it down, let's go ahead and round it down. Let's say that we don't have Peton. Peton is gone. We can also go ahead and maybe tone down the April Fool's reward. So we'll subtract 10 and we'll subtract 11. Okay, so 21. So this would be, I guess, 127. Over 125 Dragon Stones. That's what I'm going to put on the thumbnail. Over 125 stones. Stoners. Over 125 stoners. Whoa. That's what we're putting. So with those 125 Dragon Stones, theoretically, you know, how many stones would you have? That's the big question. Because I know a lot of people are currently bleeding from the 10th anniversary. So let's see what kind of answers we get in the comments. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, obviously like down below in the comments your thoughts on the celebration coming up in terms of content. What specific events, EZAs, other pieces of content would you like to see? Don't forget, this was last year. Since then, we've got, you know, Festival of Battles, Red Zone, Blue Zone. What is the new thing? Battle Hardened Formidable Foes. For all we know, they add some more stuff to any of those things. So, you know, this is just based on last year's event rollout. There could be a whole lot more. So let me know some expectations, some ideas, and if you were to add 125 stones to your stone count, how much would you theoretically be at? Again, this is not confirmed. This is just what we're approximating. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.